The business I chose to house in my office building was Bean Burrow. Bean Burrow is a Hong Kong based firm founded in 2013. The firm is known for its cultural richness. Bean Burrow is known for creating narratives for the spaces they house. They strive to use colors from the natural world and highlight elements within their design. Bean Burrow's narrative goals led them to telling stories through their concepts. The building that is housing Bean Burrow's firm is 353 North Clark. This building is in the middle of all the busyness of Chicago. The building is in the neighborhood of River North. It's near many restaurants, hotels, transportation, and stores. River North is known for having lively people, food, and architecture. 353 North Clark was built in 2009. It is LEED certified and is full of different offices. The building provides fine dining, a health club, and valet parking. It's a tall, high-rise building with beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows throughout. This project will be taking place on the 33rd floor. The concept for the project is based off of how Bean Burrow designs. When they design, one of their main goals is to tell the story of where they are designing. I wanted to take my own version of that into the office design of Bean Burrow. To do this, I wanted to talk about why Chicago is a great place. The architecture in Chicago is a huge highlight, and I wanted to touch on that. When you drive into the city, the first thing you see is the Chicago skyline. Being by all the tall buildings and the beautiful architecture makes being in Chicago so special. When it comes to the colors of the space, I wanted to address how different each season in Chicago feels. As a user walks through the space, I wanted them to be able to experience the different excitements each season brings. Lastly, the location of the building and how Chicago's neighborhoods are divided was a place of inspiration for me. Chicago is a very diverse and large place, and I wanted to highlight that there's much more than just downtown to see. These are some images that are an inspiration for the colors and the design. The placement of the colors themselves are bright and colorful, but they're in select areas. I wanted to combine this concept within each seasons of the color palette. Within the structure of the building, I'm inspired by the separation of space in unique ways. I wanted to use the use of color in structural pieces and changes in the floor to symbolize different work environment options. For materials, I wanted to focus on using materials that aren't harmful to the environment and support the concept. In Chicago, before it was a city, it was covered by oak trees. Because of this, I wanted to use a refurbished oak flooring for the main floor areas. Within the oak flooring, there are carved out areas in the shape of River North. These shapes are different colors depending on the seasons they're in. These carved out shapes are made from actual custom flooring. Actual floors are sustainable flooring that showcases the potential of circular design. The cutout shape is 3D printed with a bioplastic that can later be used in a new production cycle. Then the flooring is infilled with terrazzo paste and made from recycled colored chips and a bio-based binding agent. Production is carried out by a robotic 3D printer that allows the process to generate little to zero waste. The next material is acoustical paneling called Kite by Magu. These are modular acoustical panels made from mushrooms and discarded textile offcuts. They are a great example about how biofabrication can fit into office design. These creates the ability to merge functional performances and sustainability. The paints I chose are from Benjamin Moore. These paints are chosen to highlight each season throughout the project. For my furniture choices, I went with a selection from All Steel. I thought the more simplistic furniture would balance out the strong color choices from the concept, instead of taking away from it. The furnishings chosen were to highlight the different seasons in each area. Next to each furnishing is an example of an all-steel furniture using it. I want to point out that All Steel cares a lot about their sustainability, and that is a major place of importance in this project. They strive every day to not only limit the impact on the environment, but to make a positive impact on it. They have a huge goals for sustainability in their company by this upcoming year, and they're on a great path to accomplish those. Over the past few months developing this design, I have sketched ideas, circular options, and diagrams in order to come up with the effective conceptual work, as well as it being functional. This is an isometric view of the entire floor of the building. You're able to see here that Bean Burrow will be taking up the far north side of the building. The flow of the space starts with the public areas such as reception, cafe, presentation rooms, display room, and library, then moves into the semi-private areas such as the admin areas, filing office, central filing, and the consultants. And finally, the private spaces of the president's office and the manager's office. Here is the reflected ceiling plan over the isometric. You're able to see the lights reflected over the public and private spaces within the entire office. Throughout the office, there are many semi-private clusters that work well for quick meetings in quiet spaces. The lighting is in a circular motion around those spaces to help show a difference in space. This is a more detailed rendering of the floor plan and an unrendered floor plan below to help show the detail of the space and who will be using each area. As we go through the plan, I will be using 3 different types of people to describe where they might go within the office. As you enter the office, you are immediately met by the receptionist and a visual to replicate the skyline of Chicago. Behind that is a lounge area fit for groups and singular persons. The first user we'll be talking about is Kim. Kim is a client of Bean Burrows. She is immediately taken back upon walking into the office. The organization in the layout and the major visuals makes her trust Bean Burrow with her own project. After the lounge area, it is the cafe. The cafe is our second user's favorite space in the office. Evan is an interior designer for the firm and loves that there is so much open table space in the cafe. They like to work with their team in this space from time to time, as well as eating lunch. The collaborative work environment of the space makes it perfect for them. Lastly, we have Belle. Belle is one of the founders of Bean Burrow. She transferred to their Chicago office and is really happy to be in a new place. When she comes into work, she is able to see that all that's happening in the space on her way to her office. She loves being able to see all the filled presentation rooms and people enjoying the public spaces so much. As she makes her way to her office, she's able to say good morning to the admin assistants and consultants that helps her build their new work relationship. Within Bean Burrow's firm, they wanted to make sure it is a priority to have ADA-compliant spaces so that everyone would be able to enjoy the space. Here are a few examples of those spaces. When you first walk up to Bean Burrow, you are able to experience the winter space. This space is for the reception area and lounge. You're immediately met with these tall separations of space that mimic the shape of the Chicago skyline. Just as you drive into the city and see the skyline, I wanted all the users to be able to experience a form of that feeling when coming into Bean Burrow's firm. In the floor, you'll be able to see the cutout of space of River North that is colored with the winter color options. After the reception, you are led into the cafe. The cafe is in the spring area of Bean Burrow. This space has all steel furniture, using the colors from the materials board in order to accomplish the spring essence. In the left corner of the rendering, you're able to see part of River North cut out in the floor with the pale blue color. As you walk through the space, you'll be able to come into the summer area. This space consists of the presentation rooms, the display room, and the library. Within this space, you will see again the River North cutout in the summer color palette, the all-steel furnishing with the summer color palette, and the separation of space with light. Lastly, we have the fall space. This space is for the employees of Bean Burrow. It consists of the warm color palette, warm lighting, and the red-colored River North floor cutouts. As you walk through the office areas, the last visual is a replication of the skyline in Chicago, just as you see it when you come into the firm. You see it as you leave. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.